Yeah, I was just wondering. I know you said you don't dwell on it these days, but you know, when you were working on it at the time, were there any characters that you came up with the bios for, who you just thought to yourself like, yeah, that's awesome. This is a great character. I'm proud of myself with this. I mean,
I'm sure I thought of that at the time, but now it's a blur. It's like it's so long ago. And after working on like 250 of these,
yeah,
you're just like, what am I going to write for this guy now? I just wrote 249. Now what's 250 going to be? So I don't. I mean, the first batch of them, I'm sure, probably stand out as more unique and perhaps exciting. But really, what it more came down to when I got the opportunity to use certain characters in the actual stories I wrote, because I was able to fashion stories that really brought out characters here and there. I mean, obviously, I couldn't, with so many characters, I couldn't give each character equal billing and equal attention, but certain characters stood out in certain stories I wrote. Part of the frustrating part of writing Transformers is I would spend a few issues developing one particular character into an interesting character, and then I have to drop them, but I have to introduce another 20 characters.
right.
So when people ask me, which nobody has yet today, like, why'd you leave the Transformers? I was pretty burnt out. Like, I was getting tired of, okay, now I have to introduce another 15 characters. It's just not a good way, at least for me, to sustain my interest in something when I keep having to not recycle, but cycle in a whole bunch of new characters and put aside the old ones that I was more interested in. So it was a difficult thing for me to maintain. I mean, I maintained it for 4 or 5 years. It wasn't bad, but for a while, toward the end, I was begging my editor to get off the book, and he was begging me to stay on. Okay.
This is kind of along the same lines, but also bringing in the growth that's happened since obviously the first iteration of Transformers. Are there any that you made that you kind of like were at the time or still are particularly attached to? Like, if you see them incorporated in a new storyline or in a new toy, do you just say, yeah, like, that's my guy?
When you say incorporated into new storyline, new toy, I plead ignorance. I don't know what's out there. Okay. So as far as when I was writing the book, yeah, I remember writing some good stories with Blaster in it and with Ratchet in it and a couple others I can't remember. But there were stories at the time where I was able to develop characters and write some good stories around them, and that pleased me. Then there were other stories where it was just like a canvas of a whole bunch of characters and a big fight, and those stories may have been less gratifying. Well, they may have had their moments as well, but I liked it when I was able to focus on just one or two guys.